let's take one last look at the Behavior Inspector. If we click on the Behavior Inspector button, it brings it up. Okay. Let's make a new behavior called Sample. Go to the Behavior pop-up button, say New Behavior, just call it Sample. Say OK. Now, if we look at the events available to us for this behavior, we see many more than the ones that we've mentioned so far. I will cover them in more detail later, but I'd like you to start experimenting with them to see what they do. Just for the heck of it, let's select the Key Up event, which occurs whenever the user presses and releases a key on the keyboard. That's what the event Key Up corresponds to. Okay. Now, let's look at the actions that are available to us in response to this event. Okay. In response to this event, we could make the playback head go to a particular frame if we wanted to, by selecting the Go to Frame under Navigation. We can have it wait on the current frame if we wanted to, by selecting that action. We could have it play a soundcast member or even beep in response to the key up. We could change the tempo that our movie plays at, or the location of a sprite, or the kind of cursor that our movie uses, or even call an event handler that we wrote ourselves. All right. So we can cause lots of different actions to occur in response to a particular event. We can even cause several actions to occur in response to the same event. So we could select Key Up here and say, go to frame 1, and also beep. So when we press the key up, it'll go to frame 1, and it'll also beep at the same time. Okay. Also, it's good to keep in mind a single behavior can respond to several different events. We could have a mouse up event. So this behavior will not only make it so that when we release the key, it does these things, but also it'll respond to a mouse up. So if we select mouse up, we can add things that it should do in response to that. For instance, we could have it wait on the current frame if we wanted to. All right. So basically this one behavior, if it's added to something, will make it so that when you lift up the key, it'll go to a particular frame and it'll beep. If you press and lift up on the mouse button, it will wait on the current frame. So there's just all sorts of different permutations that you can do when you make behaviors. And I don't expect you to understand all this now. But what I do expect is for you to experiment around with the Behavior Inspector. Just choose different combinations of events and actions and see what effect they have. Also, look at what this causes director to write in the script window by selecting the behavior that you're making and clicking the script window button. And we see here the things that it does. On key up, go to the frame and beep. On mouse up, go to the frame, which means pause on that particular frame. So just do that. Experiment around, look at the script, try to figure out what's going on with the lingo code as best you can. Of course, you're not going to really understand it terribly well, but I want you to try to understand the gist of what's going on in the code. And then develop some questions. Start thinking up some questions about things you have trouble understanding. And I just say that because it'll make it easier for you once we start explaining lingo in detail if you've already started developing questions and curiosity about what's going on there. All right, so please experiment.